Have you ever had a moment that changed the entire course of your life? A single, fleeting instant that set you on a path you never could have predicted? For Clara, that moment came when she was just a little girl, trapped in the backseat of a burning car. The world was a terrifying blur of smoke and heat, and then, suddenly, a pair of strong hands pulled her free. A stranger, a nameless hero, saved her life and then vanished into the chaos before she could even say thank you. She never forgot his face, but she never knew his name. That memory became the cornerstone of her entire existence. Who was that man? Where did he go? The question echoed in her mind for years. Driven by that profound act of courage, Clara dedicated her life to helping others. She pushed through medical school, enduring sleepless nights and grueling exams, all fueled by the image of that brave stranger. She became Dr. Clara Evans, a respected physician, spending her days in the very place where lives are saved, hoping that one day, she might be able to pay forward the kindness she had received. She often wondered if she'd ever see him again, just to tell him what his bravery had inspired. But as the years turned into decades, the hope began to fade, and the memory, while still powerful, felt like a story from another lifetime. Fate, however, has a funny way of weaving threads together when you least expect it. 30 years passed. Life was full and busy. Clara had built a career, a family, a home. The dramatic rescue of her childhood was a story she told her own kids. Then, one ordinary Tuesday, the world tilted. A sudden, unexpected illness left her weak and disoriented. The doctor became the patient, finding herself in a sterile hospital bed, the same kind she'd stood beside 1,000 times. The fear she saw in her patient's eyes was now reflected in her own. It was a humbling, frightening experience. She felt adrift, vulnerable, and completely out of control. The nights were the longest, filled with the quiet hum of machines and the soft footsteps of the nursing staff in the hallway. One evening, a new night nurse came into her room to check her vitals. He moved with a quiet efficiency, his presence calm and reassuring. "Good evening, Dr. Evans," he said, his voice gentle. "My name is Arthur. I'll be looking after you tonight." Clara managed a weak smile, but as he leaned over to adjust her foredrip, the soft light from the monitor caught his features. Her breath caught in her throat. The eyes. They were the same eyes that had looked at her through a veil of smoke and fire all those years ago. Time had etched new lines on his face, and his hair was now streaked with gray, but it was him. There was no doubt. Recognition flickered between them, a silent spark that jumped across the 30-year gap. He froze, his hand hovering in midair, a look of utter astonishment dawning on his face. He straightened up slowly, his expression a mixture of disbelief and wonder. He spoke softly, his voice barely a whisper, as if he were afraid the moment might break. "You probably don't remember me," he started, his gaze locked on hers, "but I remember you. The little girl with the bright red bow in her hair." Tears welled up in Clara's eyes, blurring his face into a halo of light. It was a flood of emotion, gratitude, shock, and a sense of cosmic alignment that was too profound for words. The man who had pulled her from a fiery wreck, the catalyst for her entire life's purpose, was standing right here, once again at her side, tending to her in her moment of need. The circle was complete. The question she had carried for 3 decades was finally answered. Not in a chance encounter on the street, but here, in the quiet intimacy of a hospital room. A warm, gentle smile spread across Arthur's face. He saw the tears streaming down her cheeks and understood everything without her having to say a word. "I always wondered what happened to that little girl," he said, his voice thick with emotion. "Looks like you did all right for yourself." Clara could only nod, laughing through her tears. He patted her hand gently. "I guess," he said, with a soft chuckle, "life found a way for you to return the favor. I'm just glad I get to be here to see it." In that moment, Clara understood that kindness is never lost. It's an energy that we put out into the world. And sometimes, in the most incredible ways, it finds its way back home. Thank you for watching. If this story touched your heart, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more inspiring content. We'll see you in the next one.